Hey everybody, we're going to do LoR Guardian Draft number 3 here. Let's see what we do. Oh man, I gotta get the thing to show up. Okay, that is better. Man, that's all these packs. I just want to draft Swain too. I don't get to draft Swain too frequently. But no, we're kind of here in this week before the new set comes out. I guess it's kind of like a little closer to 2 weeks than one. And I kind of feel like we've fully explored the Rising Tides expeditions. And so I like to do these left back drafts and LOR Guardian drafts as kind of a way to bridge the gap when the spoilers are a little slow. There's not too much to gain here, is the way I kind of explained it in the last left back draft. As if when the set comes out, we're maybe getting 8 or 9 points of value out of a draft, learning wise. Then kind of halfway through, we might be getting like 4 or 5, and now we're just kind of getting like 1 or 2 points of experience out of the draft. And so I kind of look at these as kind of like a self-coaching session. Again, it gives us an opportunity to talk about why something looks good or something looks bad. It gives me a chance to kind of pull up the picks on the FTP bus site, give us a talk what we would personally be looking for, and then kind of take a look at what someone else thinks that we should be taking. And so here, for funsies, I would like to just take the Swain. I think we've only gotten to draft him 2 or 3 times, and this is a pretty reasonable Swain set between the City Breaker and then the now upgraded Legion Grenadier. Upgraded stat-wise, weaker ability-wise. I still think he's quite fine with Swain. But again, if you're looking to just go for 7 wins, I always recommend just taking Callista. She's one of our tier 1 champions on the tier list. It just kind of you're looking for a deck of 3 Callista, 3 Blighted Caretaker, 3 Neverglade Collector, and then 1 or 2 of the Rekindler. And then beyond that, just kind of fill it in with whatever you can to mind your curve, and you'll be right on your way to 7. But looks like we'll be taking the Fiora here. The shield wall pairing goes with Shin, and so this is built up on barriers. It tends to turn into an OTK deck for Fiora. But let me take a moment and get it pulled up on the site. Okay, we're looking for Fiora. Shield wall, right? That's what we're doing. And so yeah, the typically the way I look at this card pool is we're just trying to OTK with Fiora. So the number one thing we're going to be looking for is barriers. The big ones being Prismatic Barrier and Riposte, and then to a lesser degree Bright Steel Protector. And then what we kind of look at second is what if things go wrong with Fiora? What if we play her and she just gets Black Speared right away, or we just straight up don't draw her. And kind of the follow up we like to have is just with the challengers themselves, so that we can try to maintain board control. So we're looking for things like Fleet Feather Trekker. Also in Demacia, but not in this pool, is Larent Protege, and then Larent Cavalier at the epic spot. And so there's not a whole lot of difference, board-wise, as far as Fiora and all the other challengers, but she's the only one that can OTK. And so that's typically the way we try to do it. We try to be a little bit aggressive. We try to pair her up with another combat-centric champion, whether or not that's something like Shen or Katarina or whoever, anyone that likes to just get into combat, to where if things aren't going right with the OTK, then we have units that are pretty happy to still be taking hold of all these barriers. But nonetheless, let's jump in and see what LOR Guardian says we should pair up with her. We've got the Fiora here. Oh, I was like, oh, is it going to be Lee Sin? Oh man, it's Enlightenment Anivia. That seems like quite the pairing. But well, I guess we'll have to see how this goes. We could still just Battle Fury up our Fioras. But no, the Spell Slinger's Lee Sin would be a pretty reasonable set. We would have to kind of see how the draft goes as far as whether or not we want to try to be this OTK Fiora deck, or if we would just want to be a Lee Sin deck. But these do work well together, right? Even if we don't have access to like multiple spells in the same turn. Playing a Riposte on Lee Sin is fine. Playing Prismatic Barriers on Lee Sin is fine. It also gives us the option, if we're going to play 2 spells, maybe we're able to riposte a Challenger Bird and then play a different spell so that we have the 2 challengers with barrier. There's a lot of things that play well here together. River Shaper is always a great fallback unit to not drawing a Fiora, because your opponent's going to block this guy 100% of the time. He makes their attacks back into us awkward, and if we're just able to keep chaining ripostes and prismatic barriers onto him, then we're not building towards the OTK, but we should be card advantaging our opponent out of the game. Sonic Wave doesn't play too well in this kind of strategy, but it is a key card with Lee Sin. But looks like we'll be taking this Enlightenment Anivia here. Really surprised me that this is listed as a high value pack, because I think this is literally one of the tier 5 pulls on the set. I'm pretty sure I put this down at 5. This is a bad one. This is certainly not good. But let me pull up Anivia here. And let's see, the big thing I wanted to see was if it had harsh winds, which it does. And so we'll have to see if this kind of takes us down the road of picking up harsh winds and flash freezes and such. The frostbites do play well with an OTK Fiora. It's just I don't really like frostbites in the sense that they don't help us win a combat. They help us not lose a combat, right? So if we're looking at a card like Riposte, then we can use Fiora to take down our opponent's like 5/5 unit while things are still going on. But if we're just using Frostbites, then we can only stop what would be a trade. We can only take down 3 health units with Fiora, as opposed to being able to move up the curve in combat. And so with Fiora herself, it doesn't typically make too much of a difference, but when we're looking at things like Challenger Bird and Lard Protege, the challengers that only have 2 attack, then the Frostbites don't play out as well as I would like. And so when we're looking at, like Prismatic Barrier or Riposte, we're able to kind of sequence our removal spells to where we can use the barrier on the trades and then the ripostes on the trade ups. But you're just never given that option when your combat tricks are, Flash Freeze, Harsh Wind, Brittle Steel, Elixir of Iron. I wanted to take a peek here. It looks like the +4/+4 card doesn't live here, Fury of the North. That's another one that I would have been pretty happy with. But we'll have to just see how this pans out. I would still, if I was going to take this Anivia myself, I would still look to build the OTK around Fioras, and then I would look to really push our curve low, as we typically do, because there's not a whole lot of top end in, what are they called, Demacia, that we actually want, and so I really just want to take advantage of Demacia where it's good, and that's at the bottom side of the curve. Really not looking for things like Avalanche in our Demacia deck, but this is what we're going to be taking. Oh, and I did mean to kind of give my disclaimer up front. I know I disagree a lot with what's happening here, and I feel bad. I don't want to feel like I'm really shitting on LoR Guardian, because I think they're kind of doing the best work in the Runeterra community as far as deck trackers and things go. I know I hate on a lot of these ratings, but when it comes to these things, I think it's especially hard to put together in Runeterra. Like when we're looking at a game like Magic or a game like Hearthstone, where you're just taking one card at a time, it's a lot easier to be extremely objective and tier listy about the cards we're going to take, especially with our early picks, right? If we're wanting to, open our pick one, pack one in Magic, and there's the choice between like a powerful rare and an epic, and say like a common removal spell, it's pretty easy to kind of take the correct one, since you're only taking one card. But if Magic was broken up to where pick one, pack one is they open the 15 card pack, it gets split into 5 3-card piles, and then you have to pick the best 3-card pile. Things get a little bit hairy, right? Because if what do you look at if, say, your powerful mythic is paired with two garbage cards, and then the good rare and the is paired with kind of other garbage cards, and then the removal spell is paired with some mediocre but playable cards. Like it becomes a much tougher decision since you're taking such a big chunk of your deck at one time. You really have to balance kind of the power level against the quality of what you're trying to do, and so. With Magic and Hearthstone, it is pretty easy to kind of put together kind of a beginner's draft guide of, if there's a tier 4 plus card, take it. If there's a removal spell, take it. And then mind your curve after that is kind of like step 1, step 2, step 3. But you really kind of get pushed away from that in Runeterra, and you have to kind of make more complex decisions. And so not to say that one game's draft format is better than the other. I really enjoy Magic Draft and Runeterra quite a bit. Hearthstone Arena to a lesser extent, and I know I kind of shit on LoR Guardian a bit, but they got their work cut out for them. Really getting these ratings to work as we agree with. I think they tend to work better if we're on a pack to where we have a really close set of cards, but I think kind of on the broader spectrum, it's going to be pretty tough for them to nail down. But nonetheless, okay, this is pretty much what I would take. I always talk about us needing to pick up one of these removal spells. Concerted Strike kind of falls into that area of Detain and Vengeance that just deal with anything. I don't think I've ever had a Concerted Strike fail. I've had opponents fail because they did it wrong, but not particularly ours. But I don't think it's ultra important to take in the third pick of the draft. I would really look to just take this Sweet Feather Tracker and Senna, especially the thing with Senna is if we run into On Guard, or if we run into the Laurent Duelist, the dude that gives Challenger, she plays out spectacularly there, and she just plays out just fine in your standard aggro decks. And so this is the one that I would also take as well. Where are we going now? We're getting the cheap boys. They know we need to mind our curve. This is what I would also end up taking. Being in this this Freylord Demacia pairing, I wouldn't really want to branch out into Ionia. The barriers are good, and we did give a big spiel about taking barriers, but we're really just looking for Riposte and Prismatic Barrier. We don't need to expand out into Ionia to pick up these fairly marginal ones. And so I'm pretty happy to pick up an Omen Hawk. He's always just particularly good. Lonely Poro's kind of whatever, but if we end up seeing like a who's he called, like the Ancient One or Ancient Wanderer or whatever it's called, the one that gets +1/+1 for each of your dead units, then these early 1-drops really shoot up in value. Okay, I'm on board with this one as well. We're looking for 1 or 2 single combats. They just pair so well with Fiora that you're always looking for 1 or 2. This is kind of your premier removal spell between this and Concerted Strike, since you can get Fiora ticks out of the spell. And then another just reasonable Challenger unit. Tall Tales is 100% garbage, but we would like to pick up some Brittle Steels. And then Weirding Stones is unplayable. The Tavern Keeper's fine now that he has 3 attack, but he's kind of I call him a 23rd card in Magic, as to where you're not real mad to have it in your deck, but you just push it to your sideboard if you had something else that could fit your curve or higher quality. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, we are diving into Ionia. At least we're picking up a barrier with it, and this duo's fine. We're not going to be able to really do elusive things, but this would be okay. Given the choice, I would take the double removal spell pack here between single combat and detain. But this is where we're going. The big thing I always worry about in these LoR Guardian drafts is our curve just getting out of hand, especially when we're playing Freylord. But it's done a pretty good job of keeping our curve in check. Okay, looks like we're getting another single combat with an elusive. This one is pretty close. I would really lean towards taking the Stalking Wolf. I'm not huge on shared spoils, especially in these kind of challenger decks to where we don't really get too many units through in combat, but it's still fine. I would really just be interested in picking up the challenger here. There is, an argument that we do have a pretty good set of cards for the duo in the Conspirator, especially when we're starting out with Omen Hawk and Lonely Poro. Just this Omen Hawk into Conspirator is just such a huge value start that we could, look to switch into a, kind of more aggressive, elusive centered deck. But we're picking up the single combat here. Okay, what's our choice? All right, the Brightsteel Protector and the Deny. The Protector's fine. He, does what we're looking to build towards. I really just don't like Deny and Expedition. There's just not like the spells that you run into in Standard where you have to worry about like Ruinations and the type of things. Maybe this will change with the release of Call of the Mountain, but as it stands, I don't really like Deny. These cards down here are garbage, and I do really like the Iceveil Archers in these kind of challenger-based decks. Just being able to drop one of your opponent's units with like a Fleet Feather Tracker, or get good combats and keep up your aggression. There's a lot you can do with this, and the Tavern Keeper wants to be in our deck. He's okay with Fiora. I mean, if we have to hook down a 2 health unit without a combat trick, and then we can just heal her back up, it's not unreasonable. But at least we'll pick up the Protector here. All right. Man, I saw the Spirit's Refuge Detain pack, and I was like, God, I hope that's the one. But it's not. It's apparently the worst of the choices here. I wouldn't take either of these. I really only like the Life Blade if we're playing with Jolt Protector. We do need some amount of top end in our deck. We currently just have Anivia, which is extremely good top end, but we would look to pick up another, at least 1 or 2 kind of like big cards before the run's over, and Alpha Wildclaw fits that role pretty well. But we're taking the Conspirator Duo combo. This would be pretty sick if we actually took that previous one as well, and we had a triple duo double Conspirator deck with the Omen Hawk Lonely Poro. But it wasn't in the cards. And let's see. Oh, Harsh Winds. Oh shit! Damn it! I saw the Harsh Winds Entreat. My thing with Entreat is this card is pretty bad. But there are specific times when I like Entreat, and the majority of those times are when we're playing a build-around deck. And so we don't know how things are going to go. We're planning on building around Fiora. But if you're full on building around Fiora, then you have a tough time in the first 2 wins, since you only have 1 copy in the first win, or in the 0 win game, and then 2 copies in the 1 and 2 win game. And your deck isn't really fully online until you're able to get 3 wins, and then Treat really just kind of helps smooth out those early games to where it's not too good. And then at least with Fiora, it also picking up a flip on Fiora brings in Riposte, which is pretty powerful. And so I would love to take the Harsh Winds here and be okay with the Entreat, but looks like we're going to get a Vanguard Sergeant Succession, which, if our deck turns into more of an aggro deck, I am pretty happy to pick up these Sergeants. They're pretty few and far between these days now that they've been dropped out of so many pools. And I really feel like, to take an aside, like the amount of time that we see Vanguard Sergeant now is the amount of time I think we should be seeing Neverglade Collector. Whatever needs to happen to make that be a thing. We do quite a few runs in it with Demacia, and it seems like this guy maybe shows up half the time. That's about the point where I think Neverglade Collector should show up. I think he's just way too good for Expedition. But here we go. We'll take the Sergeant in the Succession. This one, please. Nice. Okay, so there we go. We got our Protector and a Detain. It's pretty easy take here. The Highwayman's garbage. The Elder plays okay in these challenger decks, but it's certainly not something that we're seeking. And this would be okay. The Brittle Steel Babbling Bjerg. Babbling Bjerg doesn't actually draw anything on our deck at this point, but I would hope to be able to fix that on our own. But this is a great set right here. Okay. All right. Well, Radiant helps fill in that top end. I'm not real excited about the Silverwing Diver, but the Radiant does kind of everything we need to do at the top, so we're happy to take it. None of these other picks are particularly exciting. I wouldn't be upset to take reinforcements. I don't know if we have any elites. We usually run into a handful, but not enough to really build around. But getting these 2/4/4s for 8 mana, or 8 spell mana, I should say, is a pretty good deal. Okay. A sentry with a snapper, that's fine. There's not a whole lot going on here. We certainly don't want the allegiance card in a Trafaction deck. We don't want the one deny we have. The scout doesn't really fit our theme too well, outside of we do need a little bit more top end here. But the sentry's a great pickup. Okay. Man, it's tough seeing that detain so low. But picking up a River Shaper's okay. And we should have a reasonable time kicking off this Wolf Rider with all the early game elusives we picked up. I felt like we had 5. I forgot we only have the 3. But we have a reasonable shot of flipping this, and the River Shaper's fine here. And I didn't mention it at the beginning, but I'm going to take control of the trade picks. I felt like it was too awkward to just not take the trades and really try to shape our deck like we did with the last runs. I think it's just my preferred way to do these now. But once we've done a few of these and a few left pack drafts and having the trade picks in the left packs, I really did prefer that kind of style. But here I'm going to take this Flash Freeze. We would like to have Jeweled Protector in our deck. We do have some elusives that can take advantage of it, but I'm really just looking for the combat trick here. I maybe have it too far in my head that maybe I do have it too far in my head that we're actually going to ever OTK a game with Fiora. What do we have? We have 2 Protectors, 1 Riposte, and a Battle Fury. Like Battle Fury counts. I don't think we can do it. I need to like specifically get in my head right now that we aren't going to be OTKing with Fiora. So I think we probably should pick up this Protector here. If we had like the 2 Conspirators, there would be more of an argument to hang on to this Poro. But I think we just have to kind of fill in where our top end is missing here, and it does play well with the elusives that we have. So let's pick him up. See, I agreed with you, LoR Guardian. All right, and off we go. We got to get at least 1 win with this. I feel so bad. Like in the left back drafts, we've 7-0'd both of them. I've done 2 LoR Guardian drafts before this, and I goose-egged both of them. I felt pretty bad about it, and so I'm feeling good. We'll at least get a win. This deck's built to do it, though. I mean, this deck is fine. Here, I don't really want to like hard mulligan for ones and 2s because we don't really have enough of them. Being on the odd attack, though, we're pretty happy with his Senna. This is the guy that's kind of awkward here. I mean, how many other... I think we need to get rid of him as well. We won't play him until like turn 4 or turn 5. Okay. Cool, we picked up a duo. Pretty good aggro draw.
Eyes up here, or I'll cut him out.
Yeah, oh, he has Fearsome. I was like, is the decision if we actually want to trade here. Okay, we didn't have the choice anyways, and he has Fearsome. But against a Gangplank deck, we have to kind of consider this. I'm not like too excited about it here, because he doesn't have any follow-up spells, but a turn or 2 into the future is where that would start to get awkward.
My gun does the talking.
We don't have to be like super worried about our health, because we can kind of run this Lifeblade Protector combo.
You won't feel it at first.
I'm just going to go ahead and trade out, though.
This
is going to trade with our Protector if it comes down to it, and that's who we're certainly playing next turn.
No, Lucian.
So let's bank up this spell mana.
Nothing escapes my watch.
We have the single combats that we can use, and then we're really looking to get this Jeweled Protector Conspirator chain going. So we can Protector up the Conspirator, we can Conspirator back the Protector, and then we can boost up our Lifeblade afterwards. Okay. It's doing 3 damage to this. Okay. Is this just to tick up his gangplank? That's fine with me. That's awkward. We have to protect this though. But I also have to assume from this point forward though he's not going to want to attack gangplank into our conspirator. Sure. Okay. He's going to get some hook here. I'm just going to single combat down this gangplank. We can't deal with this thing being flipped. Would we prefer to just wait until next turn though? Because we get a big elusive hit in. Huh. But we do risk getting blown out by like a Make It Rain or like a Death Sand or something. I don't think we can let this sit. This should also at least keep him from picking up the draw on his Yeben Warrant. So it's a cute little bonus.
It's
Sure.
Draven time.
Getting Draven next turn. Okay.
Draven.
Hey, kiddo. Dig your get up.
Step lively.
God axes need victims.
Okay. I'm going to make this block. I think he's going to just sink a whole bunch of cards into this Draven, and then we can detain it. That's fine. I want to single combat this thing down. There's no spells in the game. Well, he doesn't have the mana to scrap shot, so we'll have our deny for next turn, and then this gives us a good open attack on him.
Bounty Bowl knows me now.
Okay. Alright. We can get in this extra damage with the elusive. Because I assume this thing's probably going to block here. Oh, okay. Alright, boys, we got our 1 win. Did it. Alright. Back to taking the LoR Guardian pick. What you got? Loaded up for us. Shield Wall Shen. Okay. Interesting. This isn't like the worst Anivia set. Would like to have like a touch of card advantage, although this thing is pretty tough to play on the cheap. Interesting. Well, we'll make the best of it, Shen. I really like stacking champions and don't like going the 3 champion route, but I might still have it stuck in my head that we're trying to be a OTK deck with Fiora. I think I just need to accept that like we're a good card stack from this point forward. Trendemir Callista. Okay. Did put Shin on the left. I still can't figure out how this actually works. But nonetheless, I think the Snapper is probably an okay keep. Alright, that's a curve. by factions? It's not. It's not by faction. It's not by alphabetical. It's not by pick order. I don't know how those actually show up.
We weren't expecting callers.
Interesting. We can. I think I want to get this Valor down. Actually, this can. Here, I'll just go ahead and do it. As opposed to the duo, because we're going to get a good open on it, and then he can play a card, and then we may or may not be able to get a good hook in. Let's doing this. Okay. We'll take both of his units down with Valor. I was going to start talking about how I'm actually considering hooking his thing, his thing. That's Cursed Keeper, because if this is like a Blighted Caretaker turn, then it just completely shuts us down. And so I was kind of considering taking down his Keeper before he could use it, but not quite relevant at the moment. And then we could also not attack here. We do have the Shen that's going to be coming down. But I think we can do like the Shen Big Scaled Snapper if we want to do that kind of thing. I think this is kind of one of these spots to where we really want to keep his board empty. So if he's going to Blighted Caretaker us, he has to use a real unit to do it. Or what may be the case from this point is just not actually having the mana to get the cards down.
Between worlds.
Ooh, single combat's interesting. I was initially just thinking of playing the duo plus the snapper. I think that's what we want to do anyways, just to keep our aggression up. We can pivot from that if we need to right here. Okay, don't think we need to. Awkward, but fine.
It must be done.
Let's move.
This is a strategy I always talk about wanting to happen with the Shen deck is you have things like Scaled Snapper. We prefer like the 4-2 for 3 that puts the toughness spell in your hand, and things like Horns of the Dragon and River Shaper. It's just this guy, yeah, like here's our friend we like to play with Shen. But it's just kind of hard to pull all of that off. Like we always end up just drafting Shen and then just pivoting into a different deck. Do we have this? Yeah, we have 7. So the idea here is we're just going to single combat down his Collector. We're going to do this thing onto Shen so he can get in a good attack next turn, and then
The dragon will keep you safe.
we'll just go from there. We want to do it in this order, so if his hand is a Black Spear, then he couldn't Black Spear down Shen before we could put the protection on it. I have to see if he has like +4/+4 guard here. Nope. All right. This looks like a pretty good open. We don't want him playing a Scuttlegeist or something here into our Shen. Oh shit! Oh damn! We don't have the mana to just win.
Them unworthy.
Protect and strike.
Up there in the mountains.
Sure.
Step lightly.
Okay. The only card I was like really worried about here was a Ruination, and it doesn't appear to be a thing. And this kind of illustrates what I think about, like with all of the support cards that are coming out now. Because these cards are so weak on our opponent's turn, right? We can't support on our opponent's turn, and so I'm kind of curious how all these things will pan out. Let's just go ahead and
You're covered.
Duty,
force a flip on this Tryndamere
Heavy
as to where, like,
Live to fight!
you know, like your cards are like super good on one turn and super bad on another turn. I'm interested in how that'll play. Right, because I understand why he didn't attack with everything here, so he can block with this stuff next turn. But it just, you know, if he did decide to attack with everything because he was going to go wide instead of going tall with Tryndamere, then, you know, so many of our units are weak here.
So I go.
Let's keep it up. Let's actually do it like this.
They'll never see us coming.
The advantage is mine.
Enforced equilibrium.
Okay.
They are under my protection.
We do have to worry about a vengeance here, but I'm hoping he just puts some blocks forward and then plays a harsh winds and we can battle Fury after.
Try me.
Okay, well let's go on the worst unit. I'm not real excited about this. This gets blown out a lot. Okay, not this time though.
You fought with honor.
Okay. Absolutely get rid of this avalanche. Like, these units are fine. This is just we're you know, a unit-based combat deck. We aren't really looking to do avalanche, and picking up a riposte is just kind of everything we're looking to do here. All right. Okay, that's an odd set of champions. I was gonna say I was gonna look for a single combat in case this is a Teemo deck. It's real weird. Like, Teemo doesn't play particularly well with Shadow Isles. Elise really wants to be paired with Noxus, so I'm not real sure what's going on with this guy. I'm also tempted to get rid of this Green Glade duo because they have so many ways to just deal 1 damage. And maybe just plan on playing the Succession on 2. I don't think I'm a big fan of that.
Reporting in.
There's the Teemo.
They'll never know what hit them.
It's not ultra scary now. We'll deal with this at some point.
Everyone.
I guess we could have looked at Green Glade Duo as our kind of other way to deal with Teemo. It's interesting. We're on these even attacks, so we're gonna want to play Blinding Assault next turn and then Shen on our follow-up attack. Just so that we can get one of these barrier challenger attacks in. So I think we're gonna want the full mana next turn,
The Yordle here's with
or
me.
4 mana I should say. We'll want the 1 spell mana, 3 regular mana. That'll leave us in a spot to play both Blinding Assault single combat next turn and then Shen on the follow-up turn. But we probably won't even have to single combat anymore since the duo can just block Teemo. Get excited. Get excited. Mystic Shot, same thing. Alrighty.
A Vandal Scout never.
We're never blocking with this, but maybe he won't attack if we play it before he attacks. There's no way for him to give this challenger for 1 mana. Or, I guess, or even it built over. You can't do it with Shadow Isles, but there's no Blighted Caretakers here.
The balance requires a watchful eye.
Okay.
As it had to be.
Let's actually not hook it. I mean, he's going to block 100% of the time, but let's at least give him the chance to make a mistake and get the extra 2 damage in.
Let's take
Sure.
this puppy for a spin.
I want to juice up this Senna.
Heard there was a little fella asking for me.
Nice. And I guess we just want to get our board as big as we can. It's tough for them to play 4 healthy units outside of something like a Neverglade
I
Collector.
won't stand by.
And so this should be okay. We could try to line up a Fort Demacia on our next attack. Okay.
I've always been a fun guy.
Sentinels of light don't fear the dark. Purity and peace.
Doesn't feel quite worth trading this for a spider. Okay.
It packs a punch.
Okay, this is awkward because like I kind of want a unit to die so we can play this boosted Radiant. So let's just go ahead and get this thing in here. We can heal up our Jolt Protector next turn with this Fort Demacia.
I fight for the fallen!
So some awkward sequencing there, but all right, I think we're a little out of reach of the Battle Fury play. Another Brood Awakening would be kind of awkward, but I think we can fight through this Collector with our Radiant. Oh, okay. I'm getting him. Nobody's got the heart in them today. Everybody's just dropping it. All right, let's see what our third champion will be here. What you got for us? Loaded up. All the Shins. All right, we'll call this a Shin build around today. we never get to do it. This is reasonable. It's kind of awkward. You don't have enough challengers to be really in the challenger theme. We don't really have the cards we need to be in like a Fiora build around, and so Shen may actually be the choice here, since I think he plays a little bit better than Fiora when it comes to just not when we're not building around Fiora. All right. We're close to being able to do Fiora things. Like, I mean, you have to have like the prismatic barrier, so it's just like the way the game sequencing goes is you don't play anything the first 2 turns. You play Fiora on 3, you prismatic barrier through combat with your 3 spell mana, and then starting on turn 4, you can just start playing riposts every turn. And if you don't have that turn 3 protect your Fiora, then it's so vulnerable. Like if she has to hook a 2 attack unit and then she just dies to every, Make It Rain, or any of the various 1 damage Twisted Fate kind of effects, it's just too tough to OTK with. So yeah, we're solidly in the good card strategy, not trying to OTK with our 1 Fiora. But like your opponent does have to give her respect though. Like if we play her on 3 and she gets 1 or 2 kills, then, you know, they can't just ignore her. They have to devote a bunch of resources to her. But, oh, Frey Lord, no Ash? Okay. Oh, goodness. About free to play bus nap time. Sure.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
We'll want a succession here. It challenges this whole board. The Sentry is not a particularly exciting play into what he's doing.
Face me!
Let's just at least block this. We're okay to just take the extra 1 point of damage here, but if he's, you know, really trying to draw into a 3-drop or something, we don't want to give him the opportunity to pick it up. I'm real tempted to just bank here. Like we're not getting any like successful aggression into this Sentry. Let's just pass and see if he plays anything.
Nothing escapes my watch.
All right, this is
They're
fine.
out there.
Next turn we can
I'll spot 'em.
we can scales and bonus if we want, and then we'll have our 5s online the turn after. Sure.
Take a stance and hold it.
For the homestead!
None of these blocks are particularly exciting. I think we're not going to play Radiant until his next turn. So I think I
Look
want
out
to do
for Reef.
this. I think we're okay to just trade this out.
Try me! I dare you!
Then we'll be good to we would have Blinding Assault. Probably should have put a bigger unit in front of this Yeti. I missed this. I kind of had it in my head. We were going to play Jolt Protector next turn and then Radiant on his following turn. But this could be the real deal here. Especially, I'd prefer not to have to riposte into this, but I don't think we need to do that. Then if we're not going to boost him, then there's no reason to Dragon's Protection this. Right, this can just block here whenever it comes to it. If he has another Tall Tales, then he has another Tall Tales. I think we just want to Protector. We'll boost this Radiant. And the plan is I'm going to Dragon's Protection this Jolt Protector and then pass. So that we don't even really need to do that. Does that change anything? No, you can still block here. Let's just go all in on this Radiant.
In Avarosa's name!
Yeah, she's about to put in work.
Stand firm.
An auspicious
Okay,
season!
don't care.
My friends.
Justice will be served!
And then I do want to hit with Valor now.
Mountains!
I've got your back.
All right, cool. See if he makes a spend over post. Battle Fury. Oh snap! How big does it make this thing?
Snow and stars.
I don't approve of this. Let's just go ahead and detain. Guess we'll use the Radiant. That's a little scary, but the only way he should be able to deal with this is another card like Battle Fury or to like Frostbite plus like Harsh Breath thing, whatever the thing is that kills zero attack units, and we've got these riposts to protect.
Protect and strike. Banish the unworthy.
Okay, we can absorb some of this damage into Radiant. This is fine. Once we untap with all this mana in a hand like this, I think we'll be okay.
Light the signal fires.
We can still make these big riposte plays on Valor. Pretty happy with how this is shaken out now. Are we ever going to get any like real value plays out of this? What do we have? We have an Omen Hawk, a Protector, Vanguard Sergeant to a degree. So like 3 cards, we can probably just run it out.
Looking for a daring escape?
All the Yetis. Alright. We won't have the mana to play 2 riposts. I think this is okay. Seems like he's going to try to Harsh Winds down our Radiant or something here, but I think the play we'll have is to... oh. Yeah, I don't approve of this guy making an appearance. He can't kill us from here, but we should probably go ahead and block one of these.
Stay back.
Let's at least do it
Hold
like
back
this,
the darkness.
so we'll heal up that full amount of damage. Feels like he wants to Fury of the North here is kind of the thing, so I wanted to certainly keep these riposts up. Okay. Sure. Battle Fury. It's going to be the biggest Radiant 2020. Did we do all that right? 12? Yeah. Okay.
An auspicious season.
Yeah. Do we want to? Huh. That's kind of scary to leave our Radiant so unprotected. I don't think we can do it. This thing is still pretty intimidating. So I'll just let that bounce. That's okay. And then I'm gonna hook this thing with our Valor. Right, because this is like, this style of card is the only way we're ever going to lose this game. Between this thing and that, whatever that super expensive spell is.
You will be scoured from this land.
Okay, just had to take a peek and make sure we don't, make sure our Radiant doesn't die. Okay.
Bow to no one.
Sure.
Born for conquest.
Oh, vermin!
I don't really want this to just have 2 health. I think, he still just doesn't have any way to deal with that. He can't do it with the Omen Hawk. He can block here, take this thing down, and then have a big open next turn. I think this is fine. Sure.
Blessed by snow and stars!
What does this even contain? As some Yeti. This needs more cards on it.
Hey, Krabby.
That's my resting face.
We swim within the flows of magic.
Blood on the snow.
Fly away while you
I think
can!
the more I think about this, is like the more we should have just reposted this. This is kind of, I don't know if we'll ever be able to use this the rest of the game.
Ah, an auspicious season!
It's a touch awkward. We can single combat this down, which I think we have to do, but we lose out on the strike on this River Shaper. It's one of those Shens we have so many copies of.
Many tribes, one Freljord.
Okay. We can just eat a hit from this. That's not a big deal.
Surround them. Let fury spill from
Sure.
the sky.
All right.
The Freljord's eternal guardian!
I mean, we have to attack with the Radiant this turn. It should. I mean, it's at least gonna like soak up one of these
Slaughter the
units.
weak.
How does this actually pan out, right? If we attack with Articuno and he blocks with Omen Hawk on Radiant, then she's not going to deal any damage. So we just can't attack with Articuno, and I think this is fine.
My shield is yours.
Banish the unworthy!
Okay. All right, he needs something good here to stop us from getting a Anivia duo win, and we can just block. Oh shit, that's
I was
I think that's going to do it.
bow to no one.
The actual perfect draw.
A Demacian
How
soldier
much does he have here? 12 and 14.
Born for
Is
conquest.
that 28?
All right.
Let's see if we
fill
have
the
enough health.
valley.
You're certainly blocking something. We just have to block. I don't think how the damage falls here super matters.
I protect this place.
Oh, we can just stop there. Fall to 2. Why don't my River Shapers and shit have 0 attack? Is that because they aren't on the board? Make sure we don't mess that up. The Asas were at 2. Oh, because it's Edgewani.
Hope
Okay,
burns on.
sure.
Tomorrow we rise anew.
Okay. Let's see if he can stack off a harsh winds or something here.
Time.
Okay. Couldn't take two off the top.
The cycle is complete.
Okay, okay. Judgment is a real card. I think we might just be going for power level here. Like this isn't like I do think Sentry is better than Succession in this style of deck, but this isn't like a humongous upgrade. I don't want Bloodsworn Pledges, but I think the Judgment is just too good to pass up, especially considering we don't really have much top end here. Anivia, Lancer, Radiant Jeweled as the units, Battle Fury at the spell. I think the Judgment's just too powerful to let go with, given the kind of like no synergy, good card nature of our deck. I have to see. I saw some of the spoilers. I think the mechanic was called Bestow as to what they released today. Hang on, we're on the odds. We can't play shit until 5. I think we can get rid of everything. If you haven't checked the old Twitter, it's oh, excuse me. I had to scratch my foot. It gives your cards a boost if you have a 8 mana plus card in your hand. So we'll have to kind of see how that pans out. It looks like they're all Freylord cards. Here, let's. I think there's a good chance we just don't attack here, but Bilgewater Piltover has such a pretty weak set of units that there's a decent chance this Fiora can actually get in and attack. And not die, I guess we should say. Maybe should have just passed here, but
Don't blink or you miss
the
me.
Ezreal kind of confirms that a little bit.
Watch and learn.
That was, so we can just directly barrier her, but this is awkward because I really want to be doing this with
You're covered.
the Scales of the Dragon. Okay, it wasn't meant to be. We can like riposte, I guess, because if he's going to invest all these cards into Ezreal, we can invest a little bit more into our Fiora. I think we could probably just Spirit's Refuge. It doesn't feel like we're going to need the health, but I want to be able to attack up, like if he plays the 6 mana 5/5 or something. I want to be able to deal with it. And here the plan, I'm not sure if it'll pan out, is we're just going to open on Ezreal, play Scales, and then boost. This might turn into having like a riposte here if he has another Mystic Shot or something. But having already played 2 Make It Rains, I feel a little bit better about just having these 1 health units hanging out.
Treasures of the ages for a price.
Take a
All
stance
right.
and hold it.
He can't play his Kempunk Shredder anymore.
Hey, Krabby.
Okay,
That's
cool.
my resting face.
Let's see if he's got that Mystic Shot. Oh god, he stalled. Okay. Okay.
He started without
This is
me.
all fine. Okay.
Another Marvolio miracle!
I'm just going to keep passing. I feel like we're okay if he gets us and doesn't attack. That makes me feel a little better, but like I think we need to be keeping like these ripostes built up. I don't know, it's down to just having a mystic shot now. I don't know, like we're so close to OTKing, but this Fort Demacy is so good if it goes right. Beam, sure.
Everything I've worked for.
I think we're fine. Like we're just kind of like we're at a spot where we can just grind him out of this game. That's kind of what I talk about with Fiora is she just can force them to sink so many resources into her.
Stand strong.
Oh, gave him some spell mana. Hope that's not. Hope that doesn't turn into a problem.
Protect and strike.
What's that you got there?
Okay. Seems pretty good for us.
Oh no!
No! Neither the flames nor the depths can claim me.
Citizen,
He is real close to flipping this. It's a little scary. I think we're okay though. All right. Do we ever want to just go for this double riposte kill? I think we can add in Wolf Rider.
smell that, Varg?
Just this
Fear.
overwhelm on this powder keg is just too good to pass up.
They will learn to fear the soul.
So that's going to boost up 1 from this. Probably won't kill this. Oh, it doesn't. It actually shows us what's going to happen. I didn't know you could Oracle out that. So he just gets stone nothing.
Each petal crafted with care.
Nice. Thanks, Oracle Eye. Oh shit. It lied to us. Oh, but it didn't count in that powder keg, I bet. It said +1 on the actual card. Huh.
Press on.
Huh. Alright, well, whatever. It's happened. We can still double riposte this this wolf.
What seems to be the problem? Be gone.
It doesn't quite work out. Doesn't quite work out. Okay. Does Gangplank just kill us? What's his flip even do? Oh. Basically deal 2 to everything. But I mean, we have this detain, so if he doesn't open on us, then we can pop him. Really only kills the protector.
Break their legs.
Okay. Awkward ass way to have to go about this game. Oh god, does he have more cards? He thinking. He's going to need a hell of a top deck to get out of this one.
Everything's better with company.
Says you.
Vessel's small, but she ain't lacking courage.
Whew. That was awkward. That was awkward. He probably could have done stuff differently there. I think he kind of, maybe he did intend on powder kegging into that, the wolf, but it doesn't seem like that was really his intention. Here I don't want any of these. We don't want Deny. We never want more than one Battle Fury, and we're not trading out our one Detain. And so these are all just skips. The skip should be 100% skip. But no, I think the mechanic was called Bestow. That might be a magic mechanic from when I didn't play, but it seems kind of interesting. I think it's kind of neat when you have these decisions as to like when you're mulliganing. If there's like some ridiculous like 2-drop that gets +3 attack if you have an 8, to where if you're wanting to kind of keep those cards, if you're wanting to like keep an 8 as an activator, that's just kind of like a dead card in your hand for what may be the entire game. Kind of interesting how it pans out. How you have to manage your curve if the power level of the different things is worth going for it.
I'm Fizz! Tide's coming in!
Okay. I don't super care about this Fizz. So I think we're good to just play the duo and get the actual damage in.
Hey!
Sure. See how this goes. We're probably just going to have to start blocking. Feels like he's going to be able to be more aggressive than us. I mean, I think this is okay. We
See
can,
the Demacian border from here.
I don't see him attacking with Fizz. If he attacks with Fizz, we can consider putting duo in front of
Ready
it.
the torches.
I have to eat this damage for now. It doesn't really feel like this is where we want to be playing a value game. And then thing number 2 here is what I don't think we need to get the bird down. Just bank this mana up and keep the single combat going. We picked up a second scout. Does that change it? Like, I don't think we're never going to OTK here. But I think I want this guy as like a blocker on his turn.
Save your
We can run
worlds.
this out.
We
If he
speak
has
with
like a 1 damage spell to take down our Fiora, it sucks, but it's fine.
I am the great Marvolio!
Okay. What a fucking awkward hit.
Strike quickly.
Well, I want to get this damage in.
They'll never see us coming.
And then if he gets too aggressive next turn, can we just kill him with Judgment? Right? If he says plays an ephemeral and then play that brings out Shark Chariot.
I pulled them from my hat!
Interesting.
What do you see, boy?
Oh god, we could have just won. Fuck. Okay. We'll just have to keep this in mind for next turn, I think.
Harder!
We'll have to. Are we just dead? No.
There!
Hold up.
Fall to 2, but we have a single combat if we have to do it. And then yeah, we he got us good with this this onslaught of shadows. I didn't expect that to be happening. But let's get this down. I want to put the damage on this thing, and then Hopefully we can Fiora this down. Does Shen change anything? I don't think so. I think we still want to do this. But now we have the option to Shen this down and protect our Fiora. We want him to have this, right?
The fate of mortals.
We want him to be making a Shark Chariot play next turn. So
Enforced equilibrium.
let's do this. If this doesn't pan out, I think it's okay. Like, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he ever blocks with this. This will take us to 1. Alright. Alright, boys. Let's see. I don't think I was denying anything last turn, did I? I don't think so.
I'll take him dead or near enough.
Don't know how this interaction works. If Fiora counts as killing the units, right? He's making this. He's going to have 3 units. We're going to Judgment and try to kill all 3. Being at 2, I'm not sure how that works.
Sharp
I guess
blade, sharp
it
mind.
doesn't really matter. This either works or it doesn't. But I mean,
Death
she
by a
strikes and
thousand
then they die and then this happens? That's the way it would happen in Magic, I think.
2 down.
Oh yeah, that's not the way it works, is it? Fuck. Oh. She got her flip. What happens? Tie game. I didn't even know that was fucking possible in this thing. What happens there? Do we just replay round 5? I guess so. Yeah, you learn something new every day, boys. Should have just straight up won that one. That Onslaught of Shadows was just completely unexpected. Okay, the more games we play, the more I feel like we should probably just be keeping this Shen. This can go... I think we want to keep you as well. With Misfortune. I feel like you did the thing we would do where you take Garen to pick up the scouts, but I don't know why this has Ionia in it. I'm gonna keep this too, just in case his board gets real scary. I don't know. This doesn't feel like I did that well.
Let's get him, crew.
Judgment back for some redemption.
In range.
Sure. I'm just gonna play like Black Market Merchant here.
There's plenty of killing left. Discipline and steel.
All right, I think we're okay to just pass.
Take a stance and hold it.
Oh, that's fine. We can just make this riposte play next turn. He's gonna get a hit in regardless. If he wants to open for this extra 3, I think that's okay.
You're under our protection.
Do we want to do this now? Because like, there's so many plays I want to make with this bird. All right, I think we're good to just play
The
Shen.
balance requires a watchful eye.
The dead don't need riches.
Captain's orders. Bullet to the face.
You will not prevail.
Let's go ahead and prevent this. We're going to have to rely on this Radiant to win. So I think we just want to play Bird. We can get in a reasonable attack next turn. We can just trade into the Corsair and then play Radiant. We just won't be making a barrier attack.
Success gets you noticed around here.
Sure.
Missed.
No prey, no pay.
Virtue guides me.
She makes the riposts really awkward. I don't think we want to attack here. Like, the Radiant can just eat this stuff. I think I really want to be untapped before we're just going in. We have this Fort Demacia to heal our Radiant back up. We can make some kind of double barrier play with Stand United. It just doesn't feel like a spot where we want to attack. We can also maybe just Judgment off on this as well. Is this ever just a good block? I don't think so. So we really just need to have like 4 mana saved up. Or how big do we want to make our board for next turn? This is just like never blocking though. Let's let him go ahead and attack. I think we just want to play River Shaper.
Ready for the fight.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Okay, I think this is going to be okay. Sure.
Love ya.
My friends.
All right, so I think this Fort Demacia play is kind of off the board. I think we're going to be counting on this Judgment happening. It's tough for them to really deal with, although you could have like a Detain or something. What happens? 2 turns from now, we'll be at 8. So I think we can do this. Let's River Shaper. We'll plan on Stand United onto his board. And then the following, we'll try to riposte back through, or Judgment back through this on his next attack. Just gain 100 out of.
A gift from the river folk.
Okay, I think we're completely fine now. We just need to mind this misfortune and try to keep her off board, or keep her from flipping, I should say.
There's another one!
Okay.
Only I can quell the wind.
That's awkward. Okay. So we're gonna have to switch to being a Spirit's Refuge play. Do we really just want to play Omen Hawk and do it with this? He's got. Oh, I forgot about this misfortune. I think we need to do this. We got to play Omen Hawk. Then we can see if he opens or not. Or gets in the scout attack, I should say.
It is time.
Is this enough to kill us across here? Three, 7, how much is this? 8, 11, 12, 13, because I was thinking we can block Yone and then Judgment, which will kill this thing. 12, 13, that's exacties. Damn. What if we block here? I don't know if this is enough. One? Okay. Oh, is this stupid thing gonna kill us? Oh god, he has more cards. Whatever. Miss it. Miss it. Oh, it doesn't matter. We were dead either way. It either hits face or hits Omen Hawk. This game's horseshit. Are we still alive? Something happened? We're still alive? No? Okay. Alright, whatever. So let's see. I don't think I really want any of these either. I certainly don't want Feral Mystic. Don't want 2 Battle Furies. This could be a reasonable trade. Just to pick up another Challenger. I think I kind of like that. What do our 3s actually look like? I expect to have a lot more with Demacia. We have so many 4s. I think I just want to pick up the Challenger, though. Okay. God. A tie into some horseshit loss. I don't know. We could have done it differently. We could have done more with our Radiant Guardian. Or I mean, oh, we drew Omen Hawk that last turn. I was like, we had that one spell mana left over. We should have got Omen Hawk down, but it wasn't the case. But I think he clearly just drew that Yone, right? He put the vulnerable onto our Radiant. I think his ideal was that he was going to hook our Radiant way down on the right and just went through combat, and then he was just like, oh shit, I drew a Yone. I'm pretty confident that's the way that went down. I don't really care about either of these champions. It's cool to get rid of single combat. We'll just hang on to Succession and then look for better cards. Okay.
Who goes there?
Check out our 3/3s, buddy. Shut these things down.
Soldiers, to me!
Okay. So it's either an Ash or a Vladimir. That's fine with me.
Attack formation!
We're in attack formation now. Just the judgment to taunt us. We've played so poorly around this judgment. Okay, but I think we're good to just bank here. I don't think he ever attacks. The attack with Bjerg isn't the worst. I don't think this changes anything. I think we just want to get the Protector down. I'm targeting a unit. And then try to just get chunk damage in here. Like if he plays Vladimir, Vladimir's still kind of scary from his perspective. Ash is awful from his perspective.
For the glory of Noxus.
I think this is still fine, right? like this is 100% trading with something. This is going to get a value block here. We're going to get in for 4. We still have a good unit left over, and then we're going to have this 5/5 life blade starting on his next turn. I think that's okay. Like, what happens if we just attack with this? He just blocks with Bjerg. And then we can kind of clean up with, like, our challengers. That might be okay. Maybe we don't need to be doing as much of this, like, all-out aggression as I'm speaking of when we have Judgment in our hand. It just feels like we're going to be able to get into this board to where, like, we just have big dude needing to connect twice.
Bring me the calm of an
We'll have to play this next turn now.
Strike at their foundations.
Bringing the thunder now? Okay. Sure.
An auspicious season.
So that's going to get these 3/3s lined up. We want to play these 2 units next turn. I think we'll just have to pass here. This is okay. I don't really want to be detaining this thing.
You're covered.
Okay. That messes with a bit of our plans. The ideal that we were going to hook this, and then on this attack we were going to hook this and this.
These are dangerous lands.
But still okay. Let's see if he plays like Alpha Wild Claw or something here to keep us from attacking with everything. Same deal.
The advantage is mine.
Okay, this is fine this turn, but now we're probably going to have to detain this thing as much as I don't want to. Right, because it's just going to start frostbiting the Lifeblade. Alright, we just going with Fiora?
I will unite the Freljord.
It's just gonna pop Fiora. I mean, we still have this for Demacia in our hand as well. Too bad we can't pull this off. We're good to just eat this hit. I can't imagine he wants to attack with Ash into this board. He can't Harsh Winds here anymore. Do we even get anything out of adding this?
Always two steps
I guess
ahead.
there might be a world where this doesn't attack, but I don't think that world is too common. Oh, gotta do it this direction. You onto you. Like, I don't want to be making a judgment play onto him. This is just like ultra scary if he has a frostbite, right? If we may try to line up this big play next turn to where we frostbite or get a hook in on like something down here and try to get 2 or 3 of his units with this Fiora. I think we just need to not die and try to kill him with Lifeblade.
Strike for the balance.
En garde.
Do we want to do this? Hang on. I think this is fine, actually. Well, like, what kind of attack do we... Let's get this, actually. Hang on. We need to take advantage of this single combat, then I want Judgment on his turn. I think we need to pull this. We need to pull the trigger on this before he has a crystal arrow. Then we could just attack with everything that isn't Vanguard Sergeant.
Hello, my darling.
He has Vladimir, so he can't harsh winds anymore. What are the chances that he just doesn't have a unit here, right? Because if that seems a little greedy. Little greedy. Two, three, four, five. Okay, I think
I go unseen.
cool with this. Cool with this. Cool with this. He can get a good block with Bull Elnick. That's okay. We need to take this thing down, or he can give up on his Starlit Seer. And I think we're going to end up single combating here.
One suffers, another thrives.
There's a flash freeze. Okay.
Blessed by
She
snow
flipped.
and
Nope.
stars.
Okay. I think we're okay now, right? I think the only way he was going to be really threatening to win this is if he gets some kind of big crystal arrow attack in with Ash.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
What up, Anivia?
Winter is the Freljord's true ruler.
This feels awkward to just go ahead and play this, but
Eternal
again, this feels like a spot to where he may not be attacking 100% of the time. Like, we have a great block on this thing.
Where can I find a
Like,
full-bodied
I'm willing to just trade with this other stuff with our Lifeblade now that he's got this down. I mean, maybe we should have just Judgmented his board, but I think this is still okay. He's gonna flip, so we need to do this.
Fear.
Can do
Look out
this.
for Reavers.
Okay. Yeah, probably should have just Judgmented this. Okay.
strength through suffering. Behold my glory.
Now we get back to that fun question: can we just kill him with Fiora?
Light the signal fires.
The Yordle here's with me.
The frost reveals all to me.
Okay.
I've got your back.
Brothers born from battle.
You like scars? You'll love me.
I don't know how this interaction works. I guess whoever is on the left is what's going to pop off. Or no, this will be on the stack, and then we'll play Judgment after. So this, like, the idea being we can hook here, and then we can probably still kill 4. Right, because this Judgment will happen first. He's probably going to block everything.
Full speed ahead.
Protect and strike.
Let them eat swords.
I long
We
for
want to
a
force this
word.
into combat. Okay.
Show them our metal! Stop this foolery!
There we go. Get this stuff in combat, and let's see if he's got another
I
frostbite.
assume you've come for me.
Maybe this hook wasn't good, and we could just assume that he was going to block with something. You didn't let us get the animation, bro.
Another
Not
victory
cool,
for
not
House
cool.
Laurent.
Okay. Here, I think I want to pick up this Usari. I don't like Deny in Expedition. Like, we probably... Oh shit, I didn't realize we were going into the final battle here. Here, I think we want to keep all of these. I still have high hopes for this River Shaper, right? We have all of these barriers. We have a Shen. Like, we have excellent ways to take care of this River Shaper, and so I think we want to hang on to it. Don't want Senna. Like, we aren't going to be aggressive enough for Senna, and we're not getting rid of Detain. Tusk Raider. Okay. It's tough for us to activate, but this is just too powerful to pass up, especially when the diver's a turd. We do have this more of a elusive theme that I like to admit, but we really only have one Jolt Protector, and that's kind of the key for this style of deck to kick off the elusives. Tusk Raider's just too good to pass. Don't want Yone. Gotten too much out of this. I want to hang on to our single combats as well. Just our only removals are the 2 single combats and then the 1 judgment, and so important card to hang on to. How much are we going to abuse our curve if we take this protector? And let's see if we got 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5 with Usari and the elusives. I don't think we need 2, and we just picked up a Tusk Raider at the top end. It just ultimately doesn't feel necessary. So let's skip all of these. And the last one. Interesting. We did just pick up the Tusk Raider. I think we want to make this swap. Definitely not trading you. Don't want Flash Freeze. Yeah, we got this. They're going to do, very similar things. I think, on the whole, Sejuani's just more powerful anyways. But, all right. Well, let's get to it. Got Sejuani, she had that 63% win rate. Anivia only had a 57, so we did what needed to be done. Oh, found one and decided against it. There we are. Well, do something, game. I'd like to play a game of Runeterra. There we go. There we are. The full raiding party. Okay. Like I think again I'm happy with keeping Shen. It is awkward since we're on the odd attacks and we can't really do anything till the 5th turn with him, but I still think he's powerful enough to hang on to. And then being against a raiding party deck, this, Sejuani gangplank thing, I think I want to keep the Protector even though we probably won't use it. It's just going to be very important for us in the early game to keep them from dealing damage to us. And so, like, if he plays like Prowling Cutthroat, there's nothing we can do about that. But I want to be able to block everything that he's doing across these first few turns.
what I've done.
Okay. Oh, I just realized he still has 2 mana. This is just feels 100% like we're about to get hit with Make It Rain, and I really don't want to add a sentry here.
Honor guide me.
But this is fine. We'll offer this up.
You poor thing.
And then,
Press on.
like, we're just going to be banking here. He has to play both the unit and the Make It Rain, but it's kind of a low value Make It Rain if he wants to do it.
Get bloody, get paid.
Okay.
You point, I shoot.
Yep, we're blocking. Just go ahead and set it in there.
2 worlds, 1 balance.
Sure, just wants to plunder real bad. Looks like he's going to play a Wolf Raider. Oh, okay, that's fine. Like, Wolf Raider was awkward because it was going to trade with our Shen. This stuff doesn't matter.
We both walk
Okay.
between worlds.
Okay. We're willing to trade this Shen with this thing. Like, we aren't really worried about our health total anymore. We're probably not going to be able to block this stuff if he plays a follow-up unit. I think this
Enforce
is fine.
equilibrium.
Say your farewells.
Yep, works for me.
As it had to be. Sold out.
And we kind of have the Sejuani advantage here. If he's going to drop Sejuani next turn, then we can follow up with ours and Frostbite his down. Oh, we can't play you. We can play Succession. This reeks of him wanting to play Sejuani. Like, opening with Jailbreak is highly suspicious. Okay.
Attack formation.
Rip their flesh!
Think I got something.
Think I got something. Alright, let's just wear this board out. I'm good to just rebank all this spell mana again. Sure.
Man overboard. Can see the Demacian border from here.
Okay. This board is not scary. He can add a nope.
Time to make some coin.
Oh, he's bringing the thunder.
I will hold the line.
Those are at 2. Okay. Glad to see this go. I want to get my Green Clay 2-0 down. We'll hit him with these elusives next turn. making these
Actually, here.
big ass
You're
Battle
looking
Fury
for
plays
me.
next turn. So what's about to happen?
Step lightly. Strike for the balance.
Oh snap! Oh snap! That's how you get your elusives on the board. And we just have to be 100% fine here between Sejuani and Detain. He's never getting a relevant attack next turn.
Store the rations! Shackle the prisoners!
This is 11, so we can't add any units. That's a big pickup.
Pain is nothing.
Okay, so let's pop his Sejuani,
to no one.
and then we'll just detain whatever he decides to hook the Green Glade duo with.
Attack.
You can't even kill the duo. This will go away. We're not going to take it like a scary amount of
Show them our
damage.
teeth.
Okay. Is her at 3? He might be able. Well, no, she'll just flip next turn. He would need 2 cards to pull off a flip hit with this. But let's go ahead and hook her down so we have, kind of 3 ways to win the game next turn. Right, as it stands, he has to answer everything, and then we'll have the overwhelm if he has a harsh winds or something.
The advantage is mine.
Game Boys. So yeah, not a bad little run. I still don't. This is just kind of like what I classify as a good cards deck. I don't really like good cards decks, but let's go ahead and get it pulled up here. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. It ran behind you, Runeterra, and didn't come up on the recording screen. But yeah, I mean this deck is this is just all in all a good cards deck, right? As far as what I'm going to call it for the season of the Rising Tides, this was our Shen build around. Finally got one on there. This is what we're doing. We're calling this the Shen build around. It has 2 copies of Shen, and so we're saying we built around him. But it does have a lot of. This is what we would kind of. It wants to be what we kind of call a shield wall deck. That's the actual Fiora Shen archetype, as to where you're just doing everything with barriers, and that's what we're doing here to a degree. With like the Fleet Feather Tracker, Blinding Assault, the various elusives or the various challengers we took down here that we never drew. It's just the idea behind this deck is you're going to be a Fiora OTK deck, and then what do you do if that goes wrong? Well, we have all of these barriers. We need to get them on challenger units. You can do the same kind of thing if you're picking up scout units, and so if you see if we would have started with this Fiora and then picked up a Misfortune, we got to see it in there a couple of times to where hitting a Valor with a Riposte is just an extremely powerful play. But we did get some reasonable value out of these Freylord cards. We didn't see the Tusk Raider in his one game, but the Battle Fury played out pretty well throughout the run, even though we didn't pick up anything like harsh winds along the way. But yeah, I mean I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about good cards decks. I don't really like them. I think that it's not hard to assemble a deck that has like 80-90% synergy, and then you make a couple of awkward picks to just have good cards. Like, you know, if we were, you know, kind of the Shield Wall deck and we took an Omen Hawk pack and we took a, I don't know, random Battle Fury pack or something. So we just had these 4 cards, and then we got to those trade picks, and it was like Tusk Raider. You know, it doesn't fit to the theme, but it's just powerful enough to put in your deck anyways. Like, I'm okay with that kind of thing happening, but I'm not a real huge fan of putting together these drafts to where it's just the cards. We're just trying to win on the back of stats and cards being, you know, better than our opponents. Because what you tend to find is you know, if the average quality of our card in the deck is like an 8 with no synergies, even those, like, you know, the average value of your card being a 7 with synergies tends to just be so much stronger. You know, we don't draw these awkward Fleet Feather trackers that can't do anything, or it's like, well, we play Scales of the Dragon but don't have much usage for it. It's just not a huge fan of the no synergy deck. But at least we had some here, but it's kind of like, you know, like 50% synergy, 50% of good cards, and I really prefer that to be more along the lines of, you know, 75-80% synergy, you know, 25-30% good cards. And so not a whole lot to add here, but we did get to, you know, touch on a few of the things that I find important. You know, picking up the detain. You don't want to leave home without one of these. We actually managed a pretty reasonable curve, and this is how I really like these decks to pan out. It is real heavy on the 4-drops. We'd prefer not to have so many 4s, but this is really how I like my decks to look, to where everything costs between like 1 and 4 mana, and then at the top end it's just, you know, Sejuani, Battle Fury, Judgment, Tusk Raider. It's just champions and epics. Would we have been okay to have like an Alpha Wild Claw? Yes, but this is these runs that I end up hitting 7 wins with. I think this is like the most common theme that we'll see, is we've done a really good job minding our curve. Just everything is between 1 and 4, and then up here in expensive land is just epics and champions, and I think that tends to play out pretty well. And if you're going to be in a good cards deck, I think that's going to be kind of the key. Is you can't spend too much time having, you know, Jeweled Protectors, Lancers, Usaris, Stained Uniteds. These cards all have to just be cheap. So it just kind of like, you know, a don't lose until we can win kind of strategy, where, you know, we have to have stuff on board. And then up here in expensive land, it's just, you know, Sejuani, Battle Fury, Judgment, Tusk Raider. You know, we prefer to have a few more epics, but that's what I really want these kind of good cards decks to look like. But that's going to do it for this run. I was glad we were able to redeem ourselves on that double goose egg with hitting a 7 winner here. And if you want to take a note here, we did just 7 win that left back draft, and then 7 win the LoR Guardian run. And so I think, all things said, that I must be awful at drafting if we're if we're just able to pull this off like this. Very rare. I'm pulling the 7 and 7 out of just the runs themselves. But let's go ahead and click through these rewards. I think I saw some getting caught up there, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, I got a champion. I do want to go and look at the champions real quick and see how close we are to having all of them. Now that we know the new cards are coming out. What is today? Today's the 15th. The new cards come out. Is it the 24th? I don't know. It's like 10 days. It's not this coming Tuesday. It's 2 from now. So let's see. Got to put in more work on these chests. I didn't get the wild card this time. That's all right. Yeah, just click through those wild card packs. Oh, we must have all the champions if it's... Oh, we don't have to have them all if it's dusting them. I don't know if this works like Hearthstone, to where you can't open champions that you're maxed out on. But we might have officially got there. Oh, new card back. That's a cool one. That doesn't even look like a League of Legends character. Maybe. What do I know? I don't know the lore. I mean, I've played a lot of ARAM, and then I played a lot of... well, I guess my history with Riot Games is I played a lot of not a lot of League. I tried to play League for like 3 or 4 months, and I just thought it was too stressful. And then I switched to playing ARAMs for another like 6 months or a year or so, and that was pretty fun. And then I kind of got burnt out with League and switched back into playing children's card games. And then Runeterra brought me back. And so I feel like if that was a character, I would have seen it before, but it didn't look very familiar. Maybe it's one of the new ones. But there we have it. Enough rambling for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the run and learned something along the way. This is Free to Play Bust, and I thank you for being here.